Hello, everybody. My name is Paul Scott. I am the choir director here at Enumclaw High School.
Hang on, pause. If you guys are gonna come into this choir program, you need to know who Scott really is.
In the best way possible, a big child.
Well, someone told me that Scott only passed the 7th grade, so...
There's a rumor going around that Scott is actually Bigfoot.
I heard that Paul Scott only had to come teach because he got kicked out of the Seattle Opera.
I heard he didn't even graduate from PLU.
Don't know if you've known this, but I heard Mr. Scott's left leg is an inch or two longer than his right leg.
I heard that Paul Scott's favorite pastime is goat yoga.
Between you and me, Mr. Scott, during midwinter break, he actually crashed 8 cars in a Grand Theft Auto scheme.
I heard Scott's calves are bigger than the Empire State Building.
This isn't that public of information.
Scott always talks about how he works out, but I heard a rumor that last week he lost an arm wrestling competition to Mr. Cheney, and as a football player, I'm extremely disappointed.
I heard that a couple years ago, Scott threw up in a random lady's purse on the Dumbo ride at Disneyland.
I heard a rumor that Mr. Scott hypnotized his wife because have you seen the contrast between them?
And he told me this. He told me this when I asked him I needed help with some music.
I heard that he pours the milk before the cereal.
I heard that Scott shaved his head so he could cosplay as Gunnar Argo.
And he was like, hey, Easton, between you and me, I actually crashed 8 cars.
I've heard that Mr. Scott has abs under a thick layer of fat.
I'm pretty sure that Mr. Scott has turned into Lord Voldemort because he hasn't taken off his mask in who knows how long.
And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah. And he told me this story.
I heard that Scott can't play the piano. Oh, wait.
Okay, now that you've got a solid idea of who he is, let's keep on going.
And I just wanted to take you around a little bit, give you an idea of who we are at the high school. This is the choir room. It is huge. Man, right now we're kind of COVID prepared.
So you might think choir has changed a lot since we're in COVID, and you would think, well, you're not going to be able to sing. Like, how you're going to be spewing stuff everywhere, and it's going to be a big no-no. But we have singing masks that allow us to sing, so it's practically the same experience as being in choir without COVID.
The only thing that I can think of that has changed since COVID for choir is just that we've only had half of us together. But other than that, the connections and the friendships that we have through Zooms and in classroom experiences are still the same.
Usually we don't have seats this far away. Usually you don't actually see my whole face. This is probably a better idea of who I am. There, see, now you might recognize me one day.
I think that everybody's relationships have really grown stronger during the whole online/hybrid learning experience.
When we went to COVID, we still did some singing. I know that Camerata, we did try to do choir on Zoom, but you can't blend with anybody. There's absolutely nobody else around you to kind of compare yourself to or make sure that you're doing the right notes. And it really forced us to become independent in our vocals, and that was something that we hadn't really focused on before. So I would say that COVID helped strengthen us in that aspect a little bit, and I think it was really good for the choir overall.
But wanted to give you a warm welcome, an invite to the choir program. Here at Enumclaw High School, we have so many opportunities for you as an individual artist, a vocalist, a choral student. We have chorale, which is for all of you 8th graders. It's our beginning choir.
So I'm Jasmine, I'm a freshman, and some things I didn't know about chorale coming into that are really cool is, especially with this online, we're able to watch other people's videos and learn from the feedback that Scott gives them to help better ourselves. Something that's different from middle school choir is we have the support of the sophomores and juniors and seniors coming in as freshmen, and so we can really follow their example. Also, Mr. Scott is just, he's he's a great teacher, and he brings a lot of joy and encouragement to chorale and all of the other choirs, and so he's just really fun to be around. It's a great place to be.
We have Coro di Uomo, which is choir of man for our men who would like to participate in both chorale and coro. Coro is after school. And it doesn't interfere with any sports, but it's a time for guys to just be guys, mess around and sing at the same time without any kind of influence from the ladies. Because ladies, if you didn't know, we still get a little embarrassed singing in front of you. So,
Why shouldn't men be in choir? Please?
Like, if you just do men's choir, it's basically all of us as like a brotherhood and how we all can bond over the same thing, and it's really... Like, everyone has passion for music. It's just a way of how to express it, and I regret not doing choir in middle school and beginning of high school.
Well, you know, there's a lot of very pretty ladies and also very handsome gentlemen, if you're into that.
Being a man in choir is being the most important part of choir. Basses are the literal, base of the pyramid of choir. Then there's tenors, then there's altos, then there's sopranos. Basses, we need basses and we need tenors to hold the choir sound and make it sound amazing.
But then we have our women's choir, Camerata. We have our chamber choir, which is the tux and dress choir, is what you guys know of. We didn't get to go caroling with you guys last year and see all of you, but I'm sure you've seen us in the past. We're the choir that does the caroling. And then the Big Daddy choir is concert choir. That's the top choir here. As you can see in the background, all of these billboards are from concert choirs from throughout the years. We go on choir tours. Next year, we're doing Disney World down in Florida. The year after that, we're doing Hawaii for a back-to-back tour. Highly recommend you guys join us and get to be a part of who we are. If you need anything, please reach out to me. Again, Paul_Scott. You know where to find me. Email me. I'm right here in the high school choir room. We got maroon and gold, baby, because that's who we are. We bleed maroon and gold here at EHS.
One aspect of choir that we haven't talked about yet is the fact that this choir room is our home away from home. It's where we come to laugh and to cry, and this is how we kept up our family bond during quarantine. At the beginning, the Zooms were something that I could wake up and sort of get ready for, so that definitely started my day off well, and also just the building community aspects of it.
Choir has helped me maintain friendships and connecting in a social way that I don't normally get in my other classrooms.
He was really the only one that checked on me. I low-key fell off the wagon for a while, and I was not doing any of my work at all when we started the school year remote. He emailed me and he was like, "Urgent, need to make sure you're okay. Have not heard from you in 3 weeks. Are you alive?" And I was like, yeah. Anyway, it was nice that he actually cared to reach out.
Choir in general has kept me sane. Throughout quarantine, classes were very hard for me. I almost failed 3 classes, and it was hard for my mental health, and I was definitely failing them because of my mental health. But whenever Scott checked in, he always did it with reason. He didn't do it because, oh, you're failing my class or anything. No, he did it because he cared about me. He cared about literally everyone in the choir.
Mr. Scott's daily quotes, they really help. And him just like, you know how he does speeches sometimes? It really brings joy to me.
Mr. Scott was the first teacher that was like, we are doing Zooms. We are going to have 2 Zooms a week. You guys are going to get to see each other, talk to each other, play games. And that honestly kept me going. Like, at the end of every week, it'd be like, okay, I got to make it through the weekend and then to next Thursday because that's when my next Zoom is. And he didn't try and force us to do work because he knew well how overwhelmed we were. We just got to have fun. And honestly, between him checking in and doing personal Zooms with me and me getting to have that community time with Camerata, it really helped me get through quarantine, and I'm really thankful for all the time and energy that he put into those Zooms and helping us grow together as a choir program.
Choir gave you that kind of sense of community that you felt like you didn't have. There were Zooms literally every single day that you could go on and just talk, and you would think that sounds, boring, you're just going to go on and talk for about nothing, but you actually feel like you're, back in school, you're back in class, you're with those people that you really enjoy talking to, and it was a really big part of keeping me sane, along with having music to sing, and you don't realize how much you take that stuff for granted.
Until I see you again, take care, and you'll hear this a lot, but it is always a great day to be an Enumclaw Hornet.